Hi there, this is Mathia Ford with Wildcat Brand Management. Amazon is a huge e-commerce platform and it can be hard for brands to get sales or to even get noticed. At Wildcat Brand Management, we manage your Amazon account from A to Z to help you get more sales and to help you get back to managing your business. Today, I want to talk about building brand equity on Amazon. And I think that's something that is very important for brands to be able to do and to understand how it works on Amazon. A lot of brands can have some concerns or fears about Amazon, feeling like they don't have control, but that's actually not true. So your brand equity is like the value of your company, your customers, your products, all those things, the way that your customers feel about your brand. And that can actually be improved with Amazon because Amazon has a lot of brand equity. So just by selling on Amazon, your ability to have some more brand equity is improved because customers trust Amazon. If you're on Amazon, then they have a certain amount of improved trust for you. They'll give you a try because they feel like the customer experience, they're not going to have a bad experience with Amazon, so they're going to have a good experience with you as well. A few things that you can do are to build your brand awareness and identity. So the more you work on brand identity, brand awareness, think about creating content for your customers in whatever stage of buying that they are. So they may be in the stage of awareness of what your product serves, building some content around that, building some content around what you should actually do when you're purchasing. All these different stages that can help to build some brand equity because you're nurturing your customer to bring them into your funnel. Doing this on Amazon can be really tough because you don't always know the name of your customer. So you don't get the name, you don't always get the email or address. But what you can do is you can send some brand messages after. You can send actually one marketing message after people purchase, if it's on FBA, and ask them, how they felt about their customer service and stuff like that. You can do that to connect with your customers. Now, granted, not all customers are opting in to receive those messages, so you may not be able to connect with all of them, but it's an opportunity that you can send to get some connection with your customer. You do have also the option of doing your packaging however you'd like. You can add marketing messages on your packaging. You can add information on your packaging about how to access your customer service. You can provide tutorials. You can add an insert in your packaging that shows like how you can connect with customer service, where to go to get any answers or ask any questions that you might have. So those are all things that you can do to kind of connect with your customer and when they purchase on Amazon and build that connection, which is going to make them like your product more, like your brand more, and be repeat customers. Another consideration is that on Amazon, thinking about your packaging. So your packaging doesn't necessarily have to be what I call retail ready. So when you think about retail, you're thinking about on the shelves at a store, a CVS, a Walmart, and it needs to look pretty. It needs to have pretty pictures. It needs to be, color. Well, you don't have to necessarily do that on Amazon because the customer is not going into the store and picking up the shelf. You're actually putting those pretty pictures on the listing. So what you can do is make your marketing stand out a little more, make your connection stand out a little more with your packaging. So if you have something that when you open the box, for example, and it has a message on the inside, that's going to make a lot more impact if the box is plain. Then they open it up and there's where all the color is and there's where all the interest is. So you can do a few things if you think about how your customer is going to, when they receive that product, how are they going to feel? How is it going to look to them? What are they going to be doing with it? Those can be ways to impress them, to build that know, like, and trust with them. Okay, second thing you can do is to know your brand mission or value statement. So I know you may not have that worked out yet, but doing that is going to create more brand equity, because whenever you have your mission and value statement, it helps you understand kind of your direction of your brand and where you're going. It helps you know kind of what direction you want to go in, where you're headed. And I say that because you'll have lots of opportunities. You'll have opportunities to do things with your brand. You'll have opportunities for partnerships. You'll have opportunities to to do some special projects, to do possibly some charitable work. And all of that comes back to your mission. If your mission is to help children learn how to read, you wouldn't do a project that saves fish. Now, both of those are good causes, but you need to know kind of what your brand is and then what your customers can embrace. So when your customers get that feel, you don't need to tell your customers your missions and value statement. They should feel it with all the things that you do and all the ways that you create content and the things that you put on your packaging. And if you're a save the oceans type person, you're going to use reduced packaging and you're going to use different biodegradable components. So all of those things matter on your brand identity, and all of those things are things that your customers will connect with. So just remember that when you're thinking about brand equity. How do my customers feel about me? How do they understand me? Those are all things that you can do that subtly over time tells your customer exactly what you're about. Okay, number 3, provide an amazing customer experience. So from ensuring that your customers get a great package to when they click through and get the landing page and they look on Amazon or on your website and they have great tutorials, they have great information about what the product is. You might not think it's important how tall something is, or whatever the dimensions are of the product, but giving that information to your customers ahead of time and paying attention to what they write in the comments and the reviews. So you'll get reviews on your products on Amazon very often, and you can just go through those, pull out the information and add that information into your description or into your bullets, even on your pictures, and making sure that your customer, like if they're asking questions, they're like, oh, I wasn't quite sure if it was going to fit this model, or I wasn't quite sure if it was going to be this size. Making sure that that's clear, you can do that, and that provides that customer experience, because then when they get it, first of all, they're not going to buy it if it's not the right size, and second of all, if they buy it, they're going to be happy with it. Think about Amazon's customer experience. Amazon is customer obsessed, obviously. And think about that experience and how they're providing it for their customers, and how you can contribute to that on your in your way that you sell on Amazon. Number 4, improve your customer care. So once you start having customers who need assistance, who have issues, setting up your help desk, creating your frequently asked questions, getting your emails replied, getting that system in place so that your customers can easily get the answers they need, being generous with your returns, policy, so that they feel confident that if they buy something that's not right or there's something wrong with it, you're going to fix it. That's part of that customer experience, but it's also part of customer care. So think about somewhat the aftercare. When people buy something, how are they going to feel after? And then how are they going to, if they have any issues, how are they going to do with that? Because believe me, they will tell other people if they're not happy with how you took care of them, but they will also tell people if they're very happy with how you took care of them. And a lot of times you can convert an unhappy customer into a very happy customer by your customer care that you do. I also want to remind you that if you're doing FBA, that's the Fulfillment by Amazon program, that you don't even have to worry about shipping. So you're just shipping it in, and Amazon is and you're making sure that the quantity in the warehouse is adequate for 30 to 60 days worth. And then Amazon is taking care of shipping that. So you're actually able to devote more time and energy to your company growth, because you're not having to worry about getting things shipped and getting them out the door. If you have a big sales day, if you're in Shark Tank, whatever, you don't have to worry about getting all that ready. All you had to do was worry about making sure that the quantity that's available is there in stock. Okay, and then another fifth one, develop positive feelings related to your brand. And this is where that customer, charities, or working with brands, with other brands, who you connect with, knowing your mission statement, a little bit what I talked about earlier, but doing some charity community events, promoting things that are in your community. If you're a very local business and you're really focused on taking care of your local community, then that's a time when you can really show that to your customers, and that will engender, great brand equity feelings and positive feelings about your brand for your customers. So don't ever forget that you can do those things that are in alignment with your mission and values that actually help your brand equity. Excuse me. Number 6, build deeper relationships with your customer. Once your customer becomes a buyer, there are things that you can do that are going to help you to engender that deeper relationship. You can have a Facebook group for your customers. You can have a community portal for your customers. You can have a YouTube channel. You can have an app. I want to use an example here of Traeger grills, Traeger. So they're a pellet type grill, and I had never heard of them, but obviously my husband did some studying about them. And so we ended up buying one at the state fair from the local hardware store. So we bought one, they came out, they delivered it, they set it up, they showed us how to do it. But from there, we actually had an issue with the Traeger. They were awesome about fixing it. We called customer service. But number 2, they have an app that you can go to where people are talking about, like, there's all kinds of recipes in there. There's all kinds of information about how to cook brisket, how you cook different things. We even cooked our Thanksgiving dinner out there. So turkey and potatoes, because it's almost like an oven. But it was just the experience of being able to connect with other people. And then they have a Facebook group. I don't think they run it, but there's a Facebook group of Traeger grill owners. And in there, people are so helpful. People are telling other people. People are showing off their food that they cooked. And it's building that deeper customer experience and engendering you to that brand. Now, you don't have to go, you're obviously, if you're starting out as a brand, you're not going to have to start that big. But think about the ways that you can connect with your customers and build that deeper relationship. Put something in your customer packaging that helps them to have information about the warranty, helps them to understand they can connect it to your website, and possibly on your website they can get on your email list, and then you can connect with them after that. And getting to know kind of how they're using your product, how they're doing different things can help you to deepen that relationship with them. And that's just a simple example, but it was very poignant to me how this company used great service after. So they weren't actually directly selling me the product. Obviously they sold it to a retailer, and that retailer resold it, but the aftercare came from them. So improving customer retention, I think we're on 7. So you get that email list, you get them connected in some way, and then improving retention is doing things like helping them understand sneak peeks of things you're doing, or having special promotions that only people on the email list have access to. So improving that retention means that you're doing the service after the sale, you're doing the things that help them to understand how to use the product. I think there's probably a theme here that I'm going with, but you have the aftercare. So building the product and getting it on Amazon is only part of it. Amazon puts you in front of a huge amount of people, but being able to then serve those people, help them, connect with them, builds your brand equity, and that makes you more than the brand on Amazon. A lot of people think of themselves as their brand on Amazon, and you can be bigger than that. You can create a bigger community, a bigger connection with your customers. So what I want to do is talk to you about building that equity this morning, because I know that building that equity helps your brand overall. So you can achieve a lot of these things when you sell on Amazon, because having the sales on Amazon is just the beginning, but it can be bigger, can help you build that because it'll build it faster. If you have a great product, you build a great listing, you use great keywords, and you can do all that with the help of someone like me, who's a brand manager, who can help you get started on Amazon, help you get your products listed on Amazon, help you create the listings, manage your account. I do all that, but I want you to know that you can build that brand equity and be more profitable through your process, through selling on Amazon. But a lot of it is what you do after that sale, and then how you connect with your community. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, and I appreciate your time. Feel free to leave any comments or any questions below, and I'd be glad to answer. And thanks for listening. See you tomorrow.